Hello people! Yes, today I'm going to be playing a multi-cart for the Sega Mega Drive. I'm just setting my recording stuff up because I've figured out that I need to have Fraps recording off the stuff, the recording software that I got with my recording software, recording device thingy, whatever it is called. But yes, I'm just here to test it. Just make sure it works properly and see any changes that I need to make in my future videos of Mega Drive stuff. So without further ado, let us start this 4-in-1. I'm not sure what game should be able to record this in there. No, apparently it's not letting me record it because it's because this thing is not working. Actually no, I just realised something. It is working. Let me try that again. Screw it. You know what? The games on this go into like a preset cycle, and I figure let's just go through the cycle that I've sort of set here by accident. Because I already like switched it on and off twice. It always starts with Sonic the Hedgehog, so that's the game you'll be seeing third on this series of multi-cart games. So yeah, the first one I'm just going to show off is Shadow Dancer. I'm sure most of the people, or the majority of the people watching this, will be familiar with 3 of the games already. Shadow Dancer, of course, being the sequel to Shinobi, the old arcade game, and the prequel to Shinobi 3, obviously. So yeah, just I will admit I'm pretty bad at Shinobi. I have to admit that. Okay, one thing that I've noticed looking at the TV is that it looks perfectly fine. The screen looks perfectly fine on the recording device, but on the screen, it's like it's a bit red. It's got a sort of like pinkish hue for some reason. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm guessing that's something to do with the contacts in the TV, back of the TV. See, that's one thing that I don't like about TVs, modern TVs, is that they put all the contact stuff in the back, which I find to be annoying. But yeah, this is just Shadow Dancer. It plays a lot like the original Shinobi. It's obviously got some changes to it. For one thing, you have this dog that follows you everywhere and can attack enemies. You also get this move that kills all the enemies on the screen, but if you don't use it, you get 10,000 points. I'm going to see if I can beat the first boss, because if I recall, he's pretty easy. And I want to say, playing this, I don't know why, but it like reminds me of the Games Master, which was an old show that used to air on Channel 4 back in the early 90s. Well, actually, no, throughout the 90s, I should say. It went all the way to the late 90s. As you can see, don't fall down the pit because you will die. And yeah, like I said, I'm pretty awful at this game. But yeah, you're not going to see this in the video, but like I said, on the TV screen itself, the game is sort of a pinkish hue, which I don't really understand that. I mean, the recording device itself doesn't have this problem. Like, if I look at it on there, it looks perfectly fine. And I keep getting frozen low. That's it's a problem I always had with Spartan X, or Kung Fu if you prefer. But yeah, it's pretty obvious I suck at this game, so let's move on to the second one. I've saved the obscure one for last. I'm just going through the ones everyone knows well. I'm going through the ones that most people will be familiar with first. So this is Rainbow Island's extra version. You may be wondering what the difference is between this and the original. This I did actually look it up, and there was actually an extra version released in the arcades. I've never played the arcade version, so I'm not sure how accurate this is to that. Stock, that's the amount of lives you get, in case you're wondering. Rank, that's just difficulty. Mode, as you can see, you get the option to play the original version, but there's really not much difference, as I will show in the extra version. Controls, I really don't see why they even bothered, because I mean, you only use 2 buttons, so it's really not going to be much of a problem. And we shall exit to the game itself. I think I set this to... Yeah, I did set it to extra, didn't I? So yes, as you can see, presentation obviously better than the obviously better than the Famicom version. But seeing as this is a 16-bit game compared to an 8-bit game, you'd probably expect that. So yeah, the difference between the extra and the original. Well, the extra version has different music. The arcade, well, the original version, well, actually the music varies depending on the region. The Japanese version had Over the Rainbow, which is also present in the original mode of this version of the game, as if that wasn't confusing enough. Of course, they had to change it for the other versions of the game because Taito can get the rights to it. To the song, I presume. Thanks to Common38 for pointing that out when I went over my 115.1 video, which was, I can't even remember when I did that. I think it might have been, I don't know, half a year ago, something like that. And yes, if you collect the potions, you can shoot a double rainbow, which is the only thing better than a regular one. After a triple one, which you can also shoot. And yeah, aside from the music, the other differences, well, the enemies and bosses are different, but I have to admit, I have trouble actually trying to get anywhere in this version. It is more difficult than the original, in my opinion. So if I collect this potion, I think I'll be able to shoot triple one. No. Apparently the orange ones do something else. I don't know what they do. I press the C button, it does nothing. As it says on the control thing, C button isn't assigned to anything, so you only use 2 buttons. Which is good if you're playing the Famicom version. But which is funny, because I actually have the Famicom version on 2 multicarts. Neither of them work on my Famicom. At least, neither of them work properly on my Famicom. Yeah, the bosses are different, but we've got to keep the ball rolling. So, next game, and, well, it's fair enough if you don't know the first 2 games. If you don't know this one, somebody's seriously wrong with you. Yes, Sonic the Hedgehog is on the swing, and I think you all know what Sonic the Hedgehog is, so I really don't need to go into what this game is like. You all know what Sonic the Hedgehog is like. It's it's basically one of the biggest games of all time, pretty much. It's up there with like Super Mario and Street Fighter 2. And okay, I hear a bit of an echo coming through my headphones. I should probably turn them down just to prevent confusion. Funny, because I didn't notice it with the other 2 games. Maybe the music's just louder in this one. I'm not really sure. But yes, one thing that I will point out is that, as you may have noticed on this multicart, the game runs slower than it's supposed to. And trust me, it is just as bad on a real cartridge. Like, I have the official cartridge version of this. It runs just as badly. For whatever reason, unlike, well, what's really weird is that this is like the one game I'm aware of which runs slower on PAL systems than it does on NTSC. Every other game I have runs at the same speed that it would on NTSC. I have a pirate copy of Road Blasters for the Mega Drive, and that runs exactly the same as it would on NTSC console. So I really don't know what's up with this. The other 3 games on this multicart run at the correct speed. So why this game doesn't, I'll never know. And in fact, should I even try to prove it? Because I mean, you could probably look up a video explaining it. But yeah, let's go with the last game. A lot more obscure than the other 3. I doubt many people have heard of it. As you can see, a helicopter flies upon the screen. What's really funny is that my multicart label calls this Super Airwolf. I spoiled it for you. No, the multicart label calls this Super Thunderblade, but as you can see, it's actually called Super Airwolf. I don't understand what happened there. Maybe they originally wanted to include Super Thunderblade and decided not to because they realised it was shit on the Mega Drive. That's the only reason I can think of. But yeah, here is Super Airwolf. This is, well, as you could probably guess from the title, this is based off the Airwolf TV show. A show which I must admit I'm not actually very familiar with. I know it was a show that ran through the mid-80s, and despite the show being cancelled for 4 years by 1991, Hugo, I believe that's who made this version, this game, whatever, decided to make a game based off it. I don't fully understand that. This game did get released in North America as, I think it was called Crossfire. I can't remember. But in that version, they had to they had to remove all the references to the Airwolf TV show. So it's not quite as good. This game, oh no, I'd say it's alright. I wouldn't say it's as good as the other three on here, but it's alright on its own. So, I really want to show a whole level of this, just because the gameplay, there is a bit of variety in the gameplay. So we start off in this pretty standard vertical shooter thing. Go around, blow up everything on the screen. I'm sure you all know how vertical shooters work. A button shoots, B button launches bombs or something. And the C button does this turbo thing, but I don't really see the point of it. It doesn't really seem to help. I mean, it makes you move faster on the screen, but it really doesn't seem to help much. And then you have this stealth bomber come up, and that gives you power-ups. Okay. What's kind of annoying though is that the projectiles and the power stuff, they move with the screen when it scrolls. So if you're trying to avoid a bullet by going sideways and the screen scrolls, you're still going to get hit by the bullet, which is really annoying. I mean, it's hard to explain, but if you play the game yourself, you might experience that a couple of times, and that's kind of annoying. You do blow up in one hit, by the way, so don't get hit at all. If someone's about to hit you, basically just use the bomb. That's basically the best strategy I can give for this game, or at least for this section. There are a couple of other different sort of gameplay things, for lack of a better term. You can use a bomb here just to be safe, because we've got to the end of this bit, and then we come to the second part of the level. I believe the levels are all split into 5 parts, but I haven't really been able to get through the other levels because this game is pretty odd. But yeah, then we come to the second bit, which, as far as I'm aware, you can't actually die on. I mean, I've played this several times. I haven't died on this section once. I mean, the soldiers I think the soldiers do try to shoot at you in this bit, but their bullets don't seem to do anything. It's like you're basically indestructible in this bit. So you go through this sequence, which you actually go through in the next bit, but this part just seems to be completely pointless, because even if you destroy all the stuff in that bit, it like reappears when you get to this next bit. And as you may notice, this is pretty much an Ikari Warriors rip-off. And as you might have noticed, I'm terrible at Ikari Warriors. I'm not much better in this game either. I mean, Commando, I'm alright at, but yeah. Unfortunately, I don't own Commando, sadly. I really should get a copy of that game at some point, because I do like it. But yeah, this part is a bit weird. You press the B button to jump, that's basically to dodge the bullets. If you press the C button, it calls in Airwolf to like destroy whatever's on the screen. And you can't destroy those things to the side. You can't destroy them unless you call in Airwolf, which is kind of annoying. You can't shoot up for whatever reason. So then you have, actually no, come to think of it, to a point this kind of reminds me of the overhead scrolling sections from Super C, except more difficult. Oh no, I always found Super C to be easier than the original Contra, but that's just me. And as you may notice, I'm pretty terrible at this section. I've always been better at the vertical scrolling bits, well, the vertical shooter bits myself. Oh yeah, and you can't aim down. If you try to aim down, you'll aim up. So basically, if I hold down, if I like move down, I will shoot up. If I move down and to the left, I will shoot up and to the right. It's a bit weird, but it does kind of make sense, to be fair. And I'm shooting this thing, and it's not blowing up. Blow up, god damn it. Stupid. Yeah, eventually it will blow up, but it takes a million hits. So then we get to this next bit, and I'm probably going to die here. Actually no, this bit actually is quite easy from what I remember. It's very short. There's like 3 enemies in the entire thing. So there's one. There's another. Collect coins. The coins, you get money. And you can use the money to buy upgrades and stuff, but I could be wrong, but I think you'll lose the upgrades if you continue. And you will end up having to continue in this game, I guarantee you that much. I mean, I can't even be a level of this without using continues. Thankfully, if you use continue in this bit, in this game, it starts you at the last section you died on, the level. So you don't have to restart the entire level if that happens, which is good. Because I don't want to have to restart the entire level because I messed up on one bit. And so we come to the last part of the level, which I'm probably going to die really horribly on, but whatever. If I die on this part, I'll just end the video. Because, like I said, this is a 4-in-1, so this is the last game I'm covering. And, yeah, speaking of how you... Wow, that was ludicrously cheap. But yeah, screw it, I'm going to try that again, because I need to explain something before I end the video. Basically, the way to select these games is really unorthodox and stupid. Rather than having a menu, instead they decide to make it well, I say reset based, it's more like power button based or something stupid like that. Basically, you have to press the power button on and off several times to change the games, and whenever you like put the cartridge into the console, it always defaults to Sonic the Hedgehog, which I find kind of stupid, because if I'm going to play any game on this, it wouldn't be Sonic the Hedgehog, because that game I already have on a real cartridge anyway. So it's like, why would I want to play that on a multi-cart when I just play the single cart version? Well, whatever. Okay, question mark. It's probably just me, but I swear they always give you upgrades. They don't really seem to do anything else. Ah, here's the boss. Yes, there are bosses in this game. Actually, is that the real boss? I can't remember. Nope, it's not. There we go, these weird things which I seriously doubt ruin the show. But yeah, one thing that this thing really loses points on, if I had a point system, would be to select the games, because like I said already, it's really pointless and stupid when they could have just easily put in a menu instead. But yes, I'm going to finish up this level because I really want to. Just to show you what happens when you complete the level. Because I have beaten the level this before, so I know what happens. So another stealth bomber. And these planes are really annoying. If a plane flies into you, it's instant death. I don't get like why the planes would willingly fly to you when they know they're going to die instantly. It's like, what's the point? That's just a really stupid strategy. Ah, screw it. Well, that's enough of that. I'll see you later, people. See ya.